This is part 4 of a 5-part series on how long-term relationships with bullshitters can actually cause brain damage. We have seen how dealing with a bullshitter in a long-term relationship leads to cognitive dissonance, causing long-term fear and stress, which changes the brain by creating the impairment of executive functions. In this video, we will cover how these effects in executive functioning can cause sustained impairment in cognitive abilities. So executive functions are critical cognitive processes including planning, organization, decision-making, and impulse control. Housed primarily in our brain's prefrontal cortex, these functions are essential for managing daily life and long-term goals. Implications of impaired executive functioning are 1. Decision-making struggles, difficulty in making decisions, big or small, and can be a direct result of impaired executive functioning. This leads to challenges in everyday life choices and long-term planning. 2. Memory issues. Working with memory is closely tied to executive functions. Impairment can lead to forgetfulness and difficulties in learning new information. Number 3. Problem-solving limitations. Tackling complex problems becomes harder. This can affect both personal and professional life. And number 4, organizational challenges. Organizing thoughts and tasks can become overwhelming, leading to disarray in daily activities and long-term projects. These impairments in executive functioning can initiate a detrimental cycle where one cognitive challenge leads to another, creating a whole cascade of difficulties in various aspects of life. The takeaway is that research shows that being in a long-term relationship with a bullshitter can cause sustained impairment in cognitive abilities. This isn't just a temporary lapse. The effects can be long-lasting, altering the brain's structure and function over time. In other words, a relationship with a bullshitter can cause brain damage. While this is not a conventionally accepted theory, if you consider long-term damage to the amygdala, hippocampus, and prefrontal cortex to be brain damage, which I personally think is a reasonable leap of faith, then you must confront the reality that psychological and emotional abuse cause brain damage. Now, this can be reversible with healing, therapy, and time, but I think that we have proved that you do not need to be physically beaten to have sustained physical damage. Now, this is why we women need to seriously invest in our discernment of a man's character before we get in too deep. Stay tuned for part 5 where we talk about the implications of this theory.